It was at this point I realized I might have just up. Seems like I'm burning up the motor during that test. I think either I burned up the motor or the pump during that test, which is why it stopped working. And now there's also an oil leak. So I'm going to have to deal with that. So the hydraulics aren't the problem. The problem is the power unit. It's not up to what it needs to be. Okay everyone, here's the back of the exoskeleton. Turns out I didn't burn up the motor or the pump. Here's the power unit. What happened was I loosened the belt tension. See, here's the motor, the electric motor that runs the pump. And there's the pump right there with the big pulley on it. And this belt actually was spinning on this pulley right here. This was spinning. This pulley was super hot. And it was basically burning rubber. That's where all the smoke came from. And that's why the exoskeleton couldn't lift the weight, because the belt was just spinning and it wasn't turning the pump. And there's the pump pulley. So if it's not turning the pump pulley, it's not going to pump the hydraulic fluid. And the reason it was doing that is because when I replaced this pulley, I loosened the belt tensioning mechanism right here. I know it's dark. And I didn't retighten it the way I should have. So there was a lot of slack and the belt just spun. And it made a lot of smoke. Also, if you look here, there's a lot of oil leakage coming from this fitting right here. So I might have to redo that because I even tightened it, so I don't know why it's leaking. I might have to make a new connection. Despite the oil leaks and the burned belt, I think that was a successful test because I did learn. I learned that the final power unit for the exoskeleton definitely needs to have a direct drive or gear drive, and I'm going to have to go over all of the joints to get rid of the leaks. But I'll get that done slowly but surely. So sometimes it's like you take 2 steps forward and 1 step back, as that old saying goes. Well, that was a good test. Another thing that I learned is that these switches in the arms for moving the arms are not good. They were okay, it was smooth when I was just using my hand to move them, but when I have my arms in it, it's really jerky. And the reason for that is it's very sensitive. So if I'm using my arm and I'm pressing against it, it'll start moving, but if I release the pressure just a fraction, a small fraction, it'll just stop dead, and I have to press my arm against it again to start it again, and it keeps jerking back and forth like that. So it's really not a stable switch. It's a very crude design. So I'm gonna have to upgrade that also. So aside from despite that, the leaks, the burning belt, I think it was a very valuable test, successful test. So I learned things that I have to improve, which I'll do, and the exoskeleton will get even better slowly but surely. So it's like 2 steps forward, 1 step back, but that's okay because that's the way it goes sometimes when developing something new. So I hope you always find something to look forward to, and I'll see you in the future.